What is
I was
going on, everyone? Welcome back to Wars and the Stars. And today is our year in review stream. It's going to be a ranking stream. Alex put this one together, so shout out to him. We would have done it on the 31st, but tomorrow is a very special stream as Alex will be joining me and my sport podcast guys over at Take Two and a bunch of other people, or maybe no other people, show up. We just have a fun, chill stream. Headed into the new year, celebrating two of my favorite things in my life to do now is talk about sports with those guys and do Wars and the Stars over here. But Alex, I get to see your face for 2 days in a row. That's 2 days too many. But how's it going, man?
well, apart from I woke up like death this morning, I think I sound better now. Apparently, I look like death too. I'm trying to fix my hair. Um, yeah, it's been going good. I thought we should do our year in review because I think we should be doing this every single year, with new content, especially with next year gonna be so packed. Yeah, we got a packed show. We were gonna do a Google slide, and poor Drew did it, and I didn't, and I was worried that he wasn't gonna do it,
Right,
then I
right.
didn't, and then
Now,
we settled on
to be
okay.
fair, I literally put zero effort into it. Actually, the Star Wars one, I actually put a pro and con. For the Marvel one, we did. Alex will explain it later, but we did a bunch of projects. I only did about 5 of them with the pro and con, and then the rest of them I just put the title and where I wanted it. Alex, he actually had a theme going, but he didn't even touch the Star Wars one, and he did like 5 of the Marvel one.
I
He's like,
did
"Oh, let's."
9 of them.
Okay, sorry, I can't count. Um, but yeah, Alex, since this was your idea, your creation, explain how the show's going to operate, and I'll let you go first. I'll let you take it away.
So we are going to start with our Star Wars tier list. This will be going over all 11 movies and all of the shows, excluding Resistance and Forces of Destiny. And I think I should have put Visions on here, but I just didn't, just because I didn't finish Visions. So yeah, and then after we do this, we'll be doing. I'm thinking some of the awards or all of them. We'll have to see. And some of the awards that you can look forward to is Best Project of the Year, Best Character of the Year, um, Best Villain of the Year, Underrated Project of the Year, and then we'll have some for 2022, either after or before the Marvel tier list, and then or after. So remains to be seen. Doing this as we go.
All right, Alex, take it away with Star Wars, man. Share your screen.
I know I'm so slow. Um. All right, there we
Here we
go.
go. Here we go.
All right, so again, we're going from iconic, amazing, good, mid, and trash with Marvel. Just because there's so many more things, we did have to add another tier. Um, or two technically tiers, two additional tiers. One of them is specifically for me, so not fair, but so I'm thinking, Drew, I don't know about you. I'm thinking about we go either in let's go in timeline order.
Okay, so Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace first. Where's Phantom Menace? I'm gonna be putting Phantom Menace in the midsection. Um I think there's a lot of good about this movie, but there's also a lot of bad about it. Jar Jar, for starters, is not very good. Which I also have been doing like a lot of looking into with the Phantom Menace and whatnot. Apparently, George Lucas was like banking on Jar Jar to be a cell, but guess what, guys? He didn't. He wasn't. I'm trying to fix my camera. So,
Do I respond to anything, or
if
should
you
we have
want,
like
if you want to interject, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. What do you think about where I put it?
mid? I mean, I'll have a few complaints about it that I'll talk about. Obviously, it introduces us to Maul, um,
Yeah.
who gets expanded upon more obviously in Clone Wars, Rebels, and Solo, and those types of things. That's probably the only memorable thing about this movie. I'll just say, as a kid, I used to skip until the third act because I found the rest of the movie boring. And it's been a
Mhm.
while since I've watched it. I will say a lot of these projects I'll say that for, but yeah, I
Mhm.
don't mind this spot at all. It's a lot of
Mhm.
talking. Um,
And then we
Yeah.
have Attack of the Clones, unfortunate trash. Just Attack of the Clones. There's really only 45 watchable minutes of this movie, and even then, some of them aren't very good. Anakin and Padme are absolute garbage in this movie. Um, when Obi-Wan is the only good character in this movie, you know you've messed up, considering this is Anakin's story and the prequels, mainly. So I think that Camino was cool. I thought some of Geonosis was cool, but everything else is so boring. When I was showing a friend these movies for the first time, we had to watch Attack of the Clones in two separate parts because she was so bored watching it. Um, so I think that goes to tell that even for her first watch, she was bored out of her mind by the movie. So that's where I put Attack of the Clones at for me.
Yeah, the problem with this movie is it doesn't know what it wants to be.
Yeah,
It never finds its own identity. Is it like a romance story? Is it like a dark tale? It's almost like, they want to show the seeds of Anakin being evil, but it's just like whiny little horny
yeah,
kid. And it's not well executed,
yeah.
obviously. It's just some weird shots too. Like there's really weird shots, and like the dialogue is god, oh my god, awful.
It's pretty
We know
bad.
what scene I'm talking about, but
I don't like
yeah,
Sam.
Space Jesus is great.
Mhm.
Um, I'll have more things to say on it when I do it, but I think this is a fair assignment.
Yeah. And then we have the Clone Wars. It has to be an obvious iconic. Season 7 was amazing. Well,
Well,
most of it, some of it. Okay, 4 episodes were amazing. Um, but still, that doesn't even go into how good seasons 3 through 5 were. Um, it's so amazing. I will say seasons 1 and 2 were good. They weren't amazing or anything. Season 6 is kind of season 6, short season, had a lot of good arcs. But then there's Jar Jar in there.
with Mace
So
Windu,
yeah, with Mace
really
Windu
weird.
of all people. So yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at. It's an iconic show. I mean, definitely or fleshed out some characters that definitely needed it. Anakin and Obi-Wan and Yoda and Mace and all them. But then it introduced us to Ahsoka Tano, um, which was an amazing character. Cannot wait for her show. So yeah,
I have no contentions with this. It's my childhood show. It was my introduction to Star Wars, and I
yeah,
think it will bring up an interesting conversation I want to have when I put it in. But yeah, obviously this show, a lot of people complain that it's a mixed bag,
yeah.
um, because of the crappy arcs, but
I
that's
would
gonna happen.
I would probably say that 90% of the show is amazing and 10% is just either mid to just like whatever.
Right. Yeah, I mean there's some bad arcs, but when this show is at its highest points, it has some of the best Star Wars moments. I think that's definitely fair to say.
Absolutely agree. There's going to be a little bit of debate of which comes next on the timeline. I'm just going to put Revenge of the Sith.
What
I'm what?
would you say? Were you gonna say the Bad Batch?
Bad Batch because some of the first few episodes take place during and before Revenge of the Sith. But just because most of the show takes after.
Well, isn't the first scene Order 66?
Yeah, and then I think the
So I
next
think,
episode isn't too far after.
yeah, I think it's fair to say Revenge of the Sith because Revenge of the Sith has taken place before Order 66. I think that's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah.
Everyone's gonna want to put it in iconic. No, I'll put it in amazing. It is a good movie, or it's an amazing movie. However, we said it when we re-reviewed it. The 45 minutes or so of just Anakin saying, "I'm mad at the Jedi Council. Now I need to go tell someone else why I'm mad." It's just a constant like, "Okay, Anakin, I think you're mad at the Jedi Council. I think I got the point." And still, it kind of feels weird that Obi-Wan is kind of one of the shining factors of this movie. Not that side characters shouldn't be a shining thing, but at many points he overshines Anakin, especially when they're sharing scenes together. Um, I think almost every scene that they share together, Obi-Wan is definitely the better of the two. Um, and my biggest problem with this movie is that there's just a lot without Clone Wars in mind. We're just kind of told how good of friends they are. Um, they kind of imply it with the business on Cato Nemoidia, but like we never see that. Like what is that talking about? Um, so that's just it's good. Battle of the Heroes is amazing. Some dodgy lightsaber fights. Mace Windu versus Palpatine, Yoda versus Palpatine is kind of. Ugh. Order 66 was amazing. Yeah. Drew, you got anything to add on for that?
Yeah, I was surprised you put it this high, knowing your thoughts on this movie. You and I think it's totally a fair assignment. You know, a lot of people say this movie is a masterpiece, and I at one point may have said that,
Yeah.
but no, no.
Yeah.
After rewatching it, no.
I say this. When if there's 45 minutes of your movie that's awful, then it's not a masterpiece.
No, it's okay for movies like I say No Way Home's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And that still has a first act I don't love. I like it. I don't love it.
Yeah.
Um the second act of this movie is pretty poor in my opinion. The invisible hand stuff is really good.
Much better than
Um
what I remember it being.
yeah, and I get the complaints about Obi and Andy's relationship. I think this movie does a better job with it. And it's always, you know, that meme that's like um how you feel after watching Revenge of the Sith, and it's a person just a little sad, and then it's how you feel after watching Revenge of the Sith after watching the Clone Wars, and it's a dude like drowning in tears. That's
Mhm.
very much how this movie very much depends on the Clone Wars, right? And that's what I think how a lot of people rank it, and that's why they call it iconic because they think of it as an end into a show, not how it was originally intended to be the ending of a trilogy, and that's a it's difficult to do. The same thing will happen when we have all of the stuff in the Mandoverse uh,
Mm.
culminate together to lead into the sequel trilogy, and then eventually the sequel trilogy gets some other content. So that's gonna be the same case. But yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with this placement. I think it's fair.
Yeah. And next up, we have the Trash Batch.
No, no, it's
Yes.
no. Wait, below
Um,
Attack of the Clones though?
no, I'm gonna put it in mid. I'll put it in
Okay,
mid.
but
I'll
below
be
the Phantom Menace as
no.
well. Okay,
I'll put it in front.
okay.
This show, unfortunately, and we said this during the finale, half of it was good and half of it was trash. Um, the problem that I think is that I think it I think it was too much of Omega's story, and it didn't allow Echo, Tech, Wrecker, any of them to get any sort of character development. Um, Also, Crosshair made no sense as a villain. I think it made sense that, of course, he of all of them would be the bad guy of the show. Um, but then, like at the end, when we figure out, oh my gosh, he got his inhibitor chip taken out. Oh my gosh, what a shock! But then it's like after they save him, after Camino's destruction, he's just like, no, I still want to be with the Empire. Sorry, it's
Yeah.
just like it made no sense. It was kind of just like, why do you want to keep staying with them if you know they're not good people? So it kind of just made no sense. Again, Hunter was great in this. Omega was there a lot. She was okay. I like the callbacks with bringing in Hera in. Kanan was cool to see in here. Um,
Not to hear. That was
not
disturbing.
not to hear, but definitely to see. Um, so yeah, I just put it here. I definitely think it could have been way better than what it was. I think me and you agree that 16 episodes was way too long for this show.
Yeah, so like the first episode's a banger, and we were all excited, and then we get a stretch that's like bad, not great, and then we get Wrecker's storyline, and then nothing with Wrecker. We get
Mm,
nothing with Echo or Tech. They're basically just funny mechanic dudes.
yeah.
Um, and then Crosshair was an okay villain. There were some good moments. The Baraka episodes are good. I think Cad Bane, fantastic. Fennec, really good, solid as well. There's moments, there's glimpses in this show, but a lot of it's eh. The finale's like eh, like
Yeah.
nothing really happens. It's basically the Hunter and Omega show, and I think another problem this show has it's similar to the Mandalorian. It's mercenary takes on child. Mercenary has to learn how to be father figure. And
Mm,
I know people. I saw this discussion online with somebody, and people are like, "Well, you don't understand Star Wars and how it's a found family." Well, yeah, I get that, but it doesn't always have to be mercenary in galaxy whose cold-blooded killer takes on child. I don't need to see
yeah.
that consecutively. So yeah, I think that's mid's a fair assignment. Um, but again, the show is not complete yet, so maybe hopefully they learn their lesson and
Yeah.
maybe not 16 episodes and maybe go a little longer with the episodes. I think we have the ability to do that now with Disney Plus. It's not like Cartoon Network or Disney XD like Rebels was on where they had to be 23 minutes. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think they can do better.
Absolutely agree. I don't technically.
Solo?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Solo. This is a good movie. After the rewatch, I really liked it. Um, I love Han in this movie. I love Lando. I love Kira. I love Beckett. I love Chewie. I love all the characters. The plot, however, felt kind of bland. Um, in this movie, also kind of. I'm
Did
gonna
it
talk
need to be
about.
made?
No, I'm gonna say about this when I think when I get to one of the Marvel movies. This movie felt very much like I understood that reference. With the Kessel Run, the dice, Han's blaster, how he got his name. A lot of it just kind of felt like that Captain America. I understood that reference meme. Um,
Right.
so I kind of agree this either would have worked better as a TV show or if we would have gotten Solo 2 by now. So that's what I think. It's a great watch. All the characters and actors kill it in this movie. It's just the plot feels very bland. Kind of feels like, well, you could have told the story with someone else and it would have worked better.
I agree with you. I think this is a fair assessment of the movie. It got worse on the rewatch. I think we did for me. I wasn't as impressed with Alden as I was the first couple times I watched it, but overall a really solid movie. I think, and there are some things like I scratch my head on. Like, did I really need to know how he got his name? Like,
Yeah,
really? Like some of those things, you just scratch your head. Um, but overall, a really solid movie, and Donald Glover kills it, and so does Emilia Clarke's Kira. So, and hopefully those two characters are back in some upcoming and current Disney Plus Star Wars shows. So, I definitely think it's a fair assessment, and I'm interested to see what you say about Rebels, as this is a show we disagree on.
yeah. I'm. You disgust me when it comes to your Rebels opinion. Okay, let's just be real.
Okay,
um,
yeah.
yeah, we'll do Rebels. I have to put as iconic. This show to me was amazing. I think every season was great. It was great to either S tier. Definitely there were some episodes that were just kind of like, but then again, Clone Wars had a lot of that too. This was one of Star Wars's or Disney's first ever projects after the acquisition, so you have to give a little bit of leeway for a first time, like testing the waters. But still, the characterization in this show is unmatched. Thrawn is an unmatched villain. Vader is menacing almost every single scene he is. I say Rebels is, I'd say 30% of the reason why people think Vader is iconic as he is because that is Menace to like every single extent. Every single scene he is in, you feel every breath, you feel every step, every swing with his lightsaber. Amazing. Ezra is an amazing protagonist. The only really season where I'm just kind of like, is season two with the villains, like the amount of Inquisitors and the lightsaber and the helicopters. Um, I don't know which was worse, either those lightsabers or the Thanos copter. Um, Still remains to be seen. But yeah, I love this show so much. The only real complaint is I wish we got to see a little bit more with Sabine and Zeb, but they still got whole episodes dedicated to them in every season or almost every season. So yeah.
Yeah, I disagree with this, and I'll touch on it later. I will say, however, I want to be positive kind of here. Um, I really enjoy Malachor. I really enjoy that arc. I really enjoy seeing my childhood characters, Clone Wars characters in it, and I'll that kind of leads into my problem with the show that I'll touch on later. But yeah, your opinion. Some opinions are wrong. It's okay.
Not mine.
No,
Um,
no, no, definitely not yours.
Next,
What's next? Rogue One,
Rogue
yeah.
Rogue One. I gotta put it in mid. Um,
Ooh, ooh,
you.
wait, worse than the Bad Batch?
Oh wait. Third act. Third act. Um, man, and that's really the best description of this movie is how good the third act is.
Okay,
When me and Drew rewatched it, I fell asleep during the movie. So yeah. And then what time did I wake up, Drew? Kind of weird
third
that I
act.
woke up
Third.
during the third act. The interesting act. I'd say this is another like 20% as to why Vader is so good is that hallway scene. I like a lot of the main characters. I'm not really a big fan of True and Baze. They kind of just felt pointless to be there. They kind of just felt like they were only introduced to die. K2 was great. Cassian was great. Can't wait for his show. Jin was great. Um, yeah, I just wish the first two acts were actually somewhat interesting.
Okay, that's fair. I think it's a little low. I understand the thing about the first two acts. I rewatched it recently without you. I
Mm,
actually like the first two acts a lot more. Um, but yeah, I think it's a little low.
yeah. Do you like the poster I got, by the way? I love this
I
poster.
do. I do love the poster.
And then we have the classic, and I have
A
to
New Hope.
I have to put it in amazing. I can't. Okay, can I put it? I don't want to put no. Okay. Um, I can't put it in fully iconic. I do struggle with the first act still with how slow it is. It's an interesting first act. It's just a lot of slowness to it, but literally
There is
once,
a lot of weird dialogue too.
yeah, yes,
I'm gonna
very
go to
spot.
Tashi Station to pick up some power converters.
Literally once we get to Obi-Wan's hut and forward, the movie just picks up every single minute. It gets faster and faster until we get to the Death Star trench, or to the trench run.
One of the
But
better paced Star Wars films, in my opinion.
yeah, I kind of feel the same way like you did about the first act of No Way Home. It's not a bad first act. It's just to me, I don't love it that much. I wish it was faster. But come on, this is how this all started. Um, so this has to go in amazing. If the first act was maybe like a few paces faster, I would have put it in iconic. But just for me personally, not really all there for me. But I will put another movie in iconic, and I'm going to put this above both of those, and that's Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't. There's literally, if you ever say that this movie is anywhere below the top three, I have to question if you watch the same movie. This movie is
Beautiful
amazing.
film.
Amazing soundtrack, amazing visuals, amazing lightsaber fight, amazing sound design, amazing costume design, amazing everything. This is Star Wars at its peak right here. This is the pinnacle of Star Wars. And I love this movie so much. I think it's honestly, in my opinion, probably the most rewatchable Star Wars movie. Love it to death so much. So yeah, just my favorite movie. It's crawled back up to number one for me, which I'll talk about when I get to another movie. So then we have Return of the Jedi, and I have to kind of put it in front of A New Hope. And I think it struggles where A New Hope struggles is with the first act. The first act, but in this movie, the first act simply doesn't make sense. The Luke's plan actually makes zero sense, in my opinion.
I
I
need a
mean,
canon answer. Is that his Luke's actual plan, or the thing went to shit and Luke just like
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
because I love it, but it's literally once they get to the Sarlacc pit and forward, the movie's amazing. It's so good. I love it. I love the characterization in this movie. Again, I love the costume design in this movie. Maybe barring Leia's slave outfit. Um, yeah, I love this movie. The soundtrack is also iconic. Um, Everything on the Death Star was amazing. Kind of is a little redundant that we got another Death Star, and when I get to another movie, I'll talk about that. Actually, another two movies, I'll get to that. So yeah, I love this movie. But then I have to put another thing. I have to put it in iconic. I have to put the Mandalorian in iconic.
Wow,
That
wow.
you and I agree with this. This almost certainly saved Star Wars from death. Um,
Yeah.
Costumes, characterization, amazing music. All of this was amazing. I can probably think about maybe two episodes of the entire show that were just not the greatest, but not bad. And
There's
that was
one bad episode. There's
no,
one.
the Toro episode was not bad. It just wasn't that good.
Yeah.
And then
Fair.
the spider episode was pretty lackluster.
It was
Um,
okay. It did some good stuff for Grogu and Dan. But
yeah,
yeah, man, I love this show saved Star Wars for me, man. And season 1 was great, but it's incredible that season 2 may have been the greatest thing in Star
yeah,
Wars. And I don't say that lightly.
yeah.
It may have the greatest like finale too. Oh, wow.
Hmm. Got
Sequel
to.
trilogy time, baby.
Sequel trilogy time. Let's get this out of the way. Force Awakens. Man,
I
this is a
haven't
movie.
watched this movie in a long time.
Yeah, same. It's every time I get to this, I always either want to put it in good or in top of mid, or bottom of amazing. And the reason why I'm so fluctuating, I'm just gonna put it. I'm gonna put it in good.
Above Solo or below Solo?
I'll put it above, but reluctantly, and I'll talk about why. This movie was a perfect opening movie to a trilogy. Amazing villain. Just this was a great movie, but it is literally a New Hope rebranded.
Hmm.
And I think that's the biggest problem with it. Is that I understand wanting to play safe, but man, it played super safe. Um, so that I think if this movie was just a little bit more ballsy with what it wanted to do, um, it would have been better. But I will also say, not a huge fan of the ending of this movie with leaving on a cliffhanger. I really don't like movies that do that. The only really movie that I really like that it kind of does that is Infinity War, because that kind of wasn't like a cliffhanger, like oh my gosh, what happens? Like that kind of like oh my gosh, what is the next movie going to even remotely be about? So yeah. But then The Last Jedi, I'm gonna put it in amazing and above Revenge of the Sith. I know where the sniper's at. I'm not trying to die right now. Um,
Did
but
this
yeah,
thing fall off the cliff for you?
it really did. Actually, no. It's above A New Hope for me. Um,
Still
this
fell off the cliff.
this thing you can ask Drew months ago. I would have said was the greatest thing in Star Wars, and it's fallen off. Just the problem with me is I rewatched it not too long ago, and the problem is it is a long movie. It is hard not to get just extremely bored at certain parts. But I think the biggest thing with this movie is that when this movie is good, oh my god, it is best of Star Wars good. Luke and Kylo on crate, Rey and Kylo in the dyad scenes. Yes, I know you wanted Luke to cut his head off and then drop it on the ground.
I did.
You wanted
Totally.
rated R Star Wars.
Yeah, I
Um,
totally. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Um I love this movie. I love the score of this movie. I wish that you could have cut off 30 minutes and this movie would have benefited from it.
mhm.
So
It's the longest Star Wars film, I believe, right?
it is. I think it just beats. I think this movie is 2.5 hours, which beating Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
Yep. And then the Rise of Trash.
This movie should have been longer. I will say
This
that. This
movie,
movie should be 3 hours.
yes, no, this movie should have been 4 hours. Justice League time, bro. Um, too much happened too fast. Palpatine returning is almost as funny as the line talking about him coming back. Somehow Palpatine has returned. Um, so
I will say he is fairly good in the movie when he's in it. He's barely in it.
yeah, he's good in it, but he shouldn't be in it.
Right.
Rey kind of went from like a somewhat three-dimensional character to an easy two-dimensional character in this movie. Kylo was great in it. I don't care that she's Rey Skywalker now. Oh well. So yeah,
Oh, toxic fanboy.
I know. So yeah, this is my tier list. Go over recap in iconic. I have Empire Strikes Back, The Mandalorian, Clone Wars, and then Rebels. In amazing, I have Return of the Jedi, The Last Jedi, A New Hope, and Revenge of the Sith. In good, I have The Force Awakens and Solo. In mid, I have Rogue One, Bad Batch, and The Phantom Menace. In trash, I have Attack of the Clones and The Rise of Skywalker.
Well, awesome, Alex. I believe now it is my turn to share my list. So let's do the list. Let's do the create a Star Wars tier list, and here we are. Here we are.
I'm
I
excited.
am here. Let's start with the Phantom Menace, Episode 1.
Yep.
This is my second to bottom Star Wars film. I will say it's trash.
Okay.
Anakin is way too young. I don't know who the main character of this film is. Can you tell me?
Jar Jar Binks.
I think you could make an argument, a legit argument there. Yeah, Maul's cool, but he doesn't do anything. He just looks cool. Newt Gunray sucks. This movie is just a meme, and it has so much dialogue. That's my problem mainly with the prequels. It is just dialogue constantly. When, you know, I mean, this movie is pretty laughable because I have a dude do this.
Yeah.
I dropped my AirPod, but anyways, yeah, I have a dude do that. So this movie's not great. And that's why it's in the trash here. 1 second as I grab my AirPod.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, I kind of agree. I think this movie kind of just struggles too much with not knowing who the main character is or what it wants to do. So yeah, I agree.
Next would be Attack of the Clones. If I can find the poster, here it is. It's also going to be trash. So this is a terrible romance movie if it's trying to be that.
Mhm.
Yeah, and dialogue's not great. Obi-Wan's good. The stuff with Jango is pretty interesting. Pretty interesting character, I think. Kamino's a cool aesthetic planet. Geonosis is pretty cool. Count Dooku is not great. The fight between Yoda and Dooku is not great. The Jedi kind of feel one-dimensional in this movie. Like one-dimensional, not even two-dimensional. They're just all the same thing. Yeah, not very good in my opinion. There is one scene that I really love in this movie, and it's the scene where Anakin murders the Tusken Raiders. I love that scene, and they cut it too early.
You wanted to see them die?
Well, no, it's not because of that. Because we actually see like a good iteration of a young, heartbroken, distraught child who's becoming frustrated, who's becoming angry, with not being able to.
You know what a better rendition of this was? Peter at the end of No Way Home.
Yeah.
When fighting Norman.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it cuts too soon. I get it. But whatever. Next we said was Revenge of the Sith, right?
Clone Wars.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Iconic.
Obviously.
It's my first Star Wars piece of media, so I love it. It's like my baby. It did a lot for Anakin, Obi-Wan, and it introduced Ahsoka, who's in my top 5 favorite Star Wars characters, and I love the clones, man. Just to give personality to each one and every individual clone, Rex, Fives, Cody, you fall in love with these characters, and it's great. Introduces Maul. I love Savage Opress. I think the villains in this show are really excellent. They do a lot with Dooku that I like. There's a lot of good stuff in this show. The only thing I don't think they really excel at is the criminal underworld side of things. Cad Bane's cool and stuff, but I think there's some arcs with Boba that I don't love. Um, but overall, I think this show is excellent. The Siege of Mandalore, um, probably top tier Star Wars, through
Yep.
and through. Emotional, fantastic, just a great show. Revenge of the Sith is going to be amazing for me, and it will be lower in amazing. Like we were saying, a bad 45 minutes. And it's not just it's a bad 45 minutes, it's a repetitive 45 minutes. It's a 45 minutes of Anakin being like, I don't like the Jedi. Obi-Wan, I don't trust the Jedi.
Yep.
Jedi, I don't trust you. It's like I don't like it. Um, but when this movie gets into its third act, when Anakin gets into the chamber, with Mason Pelps fighting, you're like, oh, yep, this thing picks up. It's great. Order 66 is great. I love the music for that scene. Anakin and Obi-Wan's fight. I will also say this movie is oversaturated with lightsaber fights.
Yes, agree.
Um, and some of them not so good, as you were saying. But yeah, I love this film. It's not a masterpiece, but it's solid. It's a solid film, a solid way to end the prequel trilogy. Next up is the Bad Batch. I'm gonna say mid. Like we were saying, I think there are 8 good to great episodes and 8 mid to bad episodes. The show was obviously good with Hunter and Omega, and Wrecker has an arc, and that's it. You need to do more for your other 3 characters. Crosshair I really like, but I feel like his story is in a weird place now. How does he go back to the Empire? The show excelled when it focused on the Empire in that aspect with Rampart, Tarkin, what they're doing with the clones. Camino was really interesting every time we went there, but that element is kind of gone now as Camino was boom boom.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what they do with what's up with the cloning and stuff that we get teased with Mount Tantus. Um, what's next? Solo? Solo?
Yep.
Solo was low good. It'll be low good when I finish. Um, my problem with this, and it's a big problem I always have, is the main character is not the best character. He wasn't great at this film. He got Alden got a lot worse to me, and I felt like he was an okay Han Solo. I want to see more of him, of course, but Kira was really good. Amelia Clarke is great, and Donald Glover stole the show. Fantastic as Lando, and I hope he's. I haven't heard anything about the Lando show, so I hope he's doing it. Um, yeah, just a good movie. I like Tobias Beckett, played by Woody Harrelson. But this movie just feels like a Easter egg hunt at some points. Don't love it, and I also love Chewbacca and Hans meeting. I think that might be my favorite scene in the movie when they meet in the
Mm.
mud pit there. But yeah. Next would be Rogue One.
Yep. Oh no, Rebels.
Oh, my bad. Yep. You're not gonna like this.
I know I'm not. You're gonna make me very, very sad. Oh. Oh.
Mid. So I
Can't,
love
can't even put it in good.
the show excels when it has Clone Wars characters, and that's its problem. It doesn't excel on its own. It doesn't stand on its own 2 feet. Now, I think Kanan. I have the same problem with this show that I have with the Bad Batch. Kanan, Ezra, and Hera are good. I don't care about Sabine. Even when they do the Mandalore stuff, not a big fan because I think Din's Mandalore arc is much better. Okay, and I think Bo-Katan's is much better in the Clone Wars. Um, Zeb, I don't care. Sorry. Callus is okay. The other problem with this is I never get to connect with some of the villains. I feel like the Grand Inquisitor dies too quick. I don't care about the other Inquisitors. Um, Once Thrawn gets in, I think it excels. The show's really good. I think Kanan Seth is pretty emotional. I will add that. I think that's a very good scene. I don't like the World Between Worlds at all. It opens up a funky business with Star Wars that I don't like at all. Um, so yeah, the show's mid to me. I think it's overrated on TikTok and online. It's generally I think I pretty fairly assessed.
No, 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 no. Incorrectly. It should be an iconic top spot.
Rogue One, this movie for a while was a top 4 or 5 Star Wars film for me. I'm gonna say it's high good. Actually, I'll say it's low amazing. I'll say it's below Revenge of the Sith. Um, I love most of the characters in this film. K2SO might be my favorite droid in Star Wars. I really love Alan Tudyk as him. Uh, Krennic is not great. Every time Tarkin or Vader steps in, he's overshadowed in this film. Jin's story is pretty interesting. I like the first and second acts a lot more the last time I rewatched it, and the third act is great. Vader, the beach scene, it feels like a war movie in space, and that's what I really love about it. Um, Next would be A New Hope. Classic. It's a top 3 Star Wars film for me. So it's gonna go in the high good tier for me. It's just I think of it similarly to the Book of Boba Fett first episode. It's solid. It's just solid. It's very solid, very good. Doesn't do much wrong. I know people complain about the Obi-Wan Vader fight. I love it. It's pretty simplistic in its movements, and I think that's what's beautiful about it. And the pacing I think might be the best of any Star Wars film. Next would be Empire. It's iconic. It's the best piece of Star Wars. Um, the planets in this movie are great. Yoda, fantastic.
Agreed.
Um, Luke, love him. Vader, Luke's fight, great, fantastic. Love this film. Return of the Jedi is going to go in iconic for me because I think it. Oh, whoa. What the hell? I think it has the best third act in Star Wars.
Dang.
I think
Dying
that.
on us right now.
What?
It looked like your screen was dying on us.
Oh, yeah. I think it has the best third act in Star Wars. It's very emotional. It's probably the most emotional third act. It's fantastic. The second and third act are. Jabba's Palace gets better for me as I watch it as I get older, but I still don't love it. But it's still amazing. Next would be The Mandalorian, another amazing project. Not gonna go above the Clone Wars or Return of the Jedi yet for me, as the show is not yet completed. But I think there's only one bad episode. Shout out Toro Calican. I love this show. I love Din as a character. I love Grogu. I love the season 2. I love season 1. It's just a fantastic show, and it saved Star Wars for me personally. Next is the sequels. Force Awakens is good. Uh, it's solid. It does. I do have some problems with it. It's the best movie I think for a character like Finn. Uh, I think it's the best of the sequel trilogy in my opinion. And it just all goes downhill from here in my opinion. The Last Jedi, mid. This movie has pacing problems to me. It is there is too much going on. We go from one place to another, and I feel like when I'm sucked into one place, I'm already pulled away. Kylo and Rey are great as always. Luke is good. Luke gets better. I don't love the projection scene. I wish it was more poetic the way he died. I know some people love it. That's fine. And I'm glad you enjoy it. It just didn't work for me personally. The dialogue around this film, there's a lot of reasons why this film is lower for me. The dialogue around this film, it wasn't a great time to be a fan. But this movie is interesting in that aspect. But yeah, that's why it's in mid. And finally, we're gonna do the Rise of Skywalker, and it is the third and final trash film. It's better than the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, but the pace is. I get a headache when I watch it. I really do, because it's so like. Boom, 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 boom. Kylo and Rey are good. Palpatine, why? It just feels. Yeah, it's not good. Not good. So there's my list. Just to recap. Empire 1, Clone Wars 2, Return of the Jedi 3, Mando 4, all in the amazing. A New Hope 5. Revenge of the Sith will take place at 6. Rogue One at 7 in the amazing category. Force Awakens and Solo 8, 9 in the good. 10, 11, and 12 respectively will be The Last Jedi, Rebels, and Bad Batch. And finally, we have in trash Rise of Skywalker, Phantom Menace, and Attack of the Clones. So
Yeah.
that's going to round out the Star Wars list. Alex.
I will say our lists are very very different, which is something I was actually kind of worried about our list being too similar. No, they are very similar or very different. Yeah, right now I'm working on I'm working on the last award for our awards, but I do have some that I do want to go ahead and start off with, which is in our Google Doc. I don't have anything for, but I think we can just talk about for discussion. So, Drew, I'm gonna pick a number one, two, or three.
Let's do two.
Oh wait, four or one through four.
Let's do two.
All right, so we're going for villain of the year. Now, I could only think of four somewhat good villains from this year. So, Drew, I'm gonna go ahead and out of our options, let's not reveal out of the ones that I have for villain of the year. Which of those four do you think? Don't say, just say the number, and I'll pull a picture up of the character. We can share it.
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. It's been a pretty crappy year for villains for Marvel and Star Wars. All I'll say about this villain is that, wow, maybe one of the best villains of all time. I feel very similarly about this character to other iconic villains now. We saw this character really recently, and he's number three in the way you order them. But this actor just, wow, is he a menace? And he's not in a lot of the film, but he steals every scene that he's in. And it's going to be
The Green
William Defoe's
Goblin.
Green Goblin. Appears in Spider-Man 1, and he somehow gets better on No Way Home. He's just a menace. The apartment scene is fantastic. Alex, do you agree with this?
Absolutely. Villain of the year, no doubt. I mean, he's just amazing. He is a menace almost every time he's on the screen. Um, and I love it, especially with me rewatching the Raimi trilogy this year. He was amazing in that, and he was amazing. He was amazing in No Way Home. I love the scene at the end when Peter's like beating the shit out of him, and he's laughing. He's laughing his ass off at it. So yeah, absolutely love Green Goblin, and I knew me and you would almost certainly agree on that. So villain of the year goes to the Green Goblin.
Congrats, congrats.
Go Green Goblin. All right, Drew. One, three, or four.
Let's go one.
All right. So now we have character of the year, and from
By
our
the way, Alex,
yeah.
I'm gonna go with a character who's not even on this list.
Oh, there was some people who I left off purposefully. So go ahead and tell me who you think it is before I read it. Or actually, let me read off our options first. So I have Shang-Chi, Icarus, Scarlet Witch, Sam Wilson's Captain America, Loki, Sylvie, Tom Holland's Peter Parker, Vision, and Hunter. I should have done one more for 10, but whatever.
This character was from the first movie we ever reviewed. Um, Actually,
I forgot about two people.
one of my sweethearts.
The one, the only. Let me pull
This
this out.
character steals every scene they are in. I think they are the next Robert Downey Jr. of the MCU. Fantastic. She steals the show in somebody else's movie, and I think there's an argument to be made. She's the best character in another person's show. I'm gonna have to give this award
Hold on, you
to
best. I had to do it.
Yelena
I had to put both of them on there.
Belova. Florence Pugh gets my character of the year. She's fantastic. She's funny. She's great, and she can do it all. And I
Those
can't wait to
eyes.
see what project she's in next.
Those eyes. Oh my gosh.
Um,
Uh,
Alex,
I have to agree. I have to put Yelena and Kate both up there. Both were amazing. Both were so funny. Stole the show every time. The interactions between the two were amazing.
yep.
If I had to go off the list that we have, I also forgot to put Clinton Barton on that list. Oh well. I would definitely say going off that list, I would probably either say Shang-Chi's up there for me. Scarlet Witch was up there. She had a lot of good
Tom
characterization in
Holland.
WandaVision. Tom in No Way Home.
I think Tom's number 2 for me,
Yeah, I would definitely say Tom is number two. And then for
and
my number
Shang-Chi
three,
is 3.
oh, mine was Icarus. I love his character. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, I think these two are no-brainers for absolute show stealers. So
We'll
yeah,
do 2 more. I think that's fair. Then we'll save the last one for
yeah, because the last one we kind of have to wait until after the Marvel.
yeah.
And then I'll pick the next one. We'll do movie of the year. Now there are a lot more choices than what I thought. So the choices we have are Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, The Suicide Squad, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and Spider-Man No Way Home. And I think I don't, Drew. Is there really even debate here?
I don't have a contention at all because this is a top 5 comic book movie of all time in my opinion, and easily a top 2 MCU film for me. It's beautiful in every way, shape, and form. By the way, if you haven't seen it yet, what are you doing?
It's No
It
Way Home.
reintroduces us to Toby and Andrew. But that's not the star and show of the film. Tom Holland is great. It's his best outing in the MCU. The villains are fantastic. It's emotional. It's got a great ending. It's a great setup. And I'm so happy that Toby and Andrew were a part of it. 3 generations of fans. Um, and I can't wait. We might get more Andrew stuff. So this project was just fantastic.
Amazing. I agree. Characters were awesome in this movie. The soundtrack was great. The ending was amazing. Just overall, love, 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 love. No Way Home. I think it's my favorite MCU movie. I think it was honestly the first ever MCU movie I watched where I was just like, "Yep, there's a definitive. It's the best." No questions for me. So yeah, I'd say No Way Home was definitely movie of the year. I could also probably say for wait, round of applause for No Way Home.
Yes, No Way Home. And Yelena. I don't think we gave one for Yelena.
No, we didn't. I also say like a pretty good runner up for number two is probably
Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
Solid film.
yeah. And then really after that, they're all kind of forgettable to me. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I
I'm
think next time
joking.
would probably go the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. So yeah, that was movie of the year, and then final one, show of the year, with Bad Batch, WandaVision, The Falcon
The
and the
Bad
Winter Soldier.
Batch! No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I had to put every single show on here, okay? Loki, and What If. Honestly, kind of like
This one is pretty easy to me. I have to give it to my favorite
oh,
MCU,
hold on. You're going too
my
fast,
favorite Marvel
okay?
character, the kid himself. What a great show. What a great ride for us. It was our
Thor
first
didn't
Marvel
have a
show.
show this year.
What?
Thor didn't have a show this year. He's the
Oh,
king.
sorry. Um, well, this character, great. Introduced us to the multiverse, a whole new world, the TVA, Loki. Tom Hiddleston blew it out of the park again. The music. By the way, go to that picture of President Loki, please, because that's hot. Um, that's beautiful. Um, what a
Ah, what a good
what
show.
a great show. Introduced us to Kane, or He Who Remains, or whatever you want to say. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think there's a doubt in my mind. I think the second best. I think there's a distinct drop off. Um, for me would be Falcon. I like it a lot more than most people.
Hawkeye for me.
Yeah, but you think there's a drop off still, right?
Yeah, sure. Quality this year was good. Was okay to great. I think we can both agree that the worst show this year was Bad Batch.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair.
Bad Batch. What are you doing?
What are you doing to me, man?
Let's give let's Loki.
Congrats,
Go
Tom
Loki.
Hiddleston and Loki.
Go Loki.
You won the Wars of the Stars award. All right,
Yeah, and
Marvel time, baby.
I think you should go first. I think you should go first for this one.
This is gonna take a long time, so let's kind of be quick with this.
No, no, no. I think we should have some fun. I don't know how we're gonna do this. I'm just gonna kind of go in the order that the movies are because I don't know release or timeline.
I don't. I'm
Um,
not trying to. Let me try actually. Uh, Um,
Are you gonna
Spider-Man
do
1.
it? Okay. Oh, by the way, we should probably preface the movies that we have included for this are 39 movies. We were one short. We have the Raimi trilogy, the Iron Man trilogy, the Captain America trilogy, the Thor trilogy, the Amazing Spider-Man duology, the Guardians of the Galaxy duology, the Ant-Man duology, the Avengers movies.
Okay, to make this
Venom.
quick, we had all the MCU TV movies, TV
Yeah,
and movies, and we added the Raimi films, the Web films, and the
yeah.
Venom movies. By the way, when Doctor Strange 2 comes out, Alex will probably make us do the X-Men films as well, so fuck him.
No,
Um,
no, 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 no. I'm not watching all those again. They can be. They can be. We can do Logan. I'll do Logan.
Spider-Man 1, iconic. Uh,
Yeah, has to
oh,
be.
no, wait. No, amazing. I was thinking Spider-Man 2. What?
I like both of them. I think both of them are
I
iconic.
do. I do like both of them. A great origin story. Mary Jane's not great. She's not great in any of them. I love Harry in this film. I don't like James Franco, by the way. Not a great guy. Um, Norman's great. Yeah,
You know how much I've sacrificed.
yeah. What? Oh, you can't do this to me. Do you know how much I sacrificed? Next up,
Exactly.
Spider-Man 2. Iconic.
Has to be.
It's in
Has
my
to
top
be.
5. It's for a while it was the best live action Spider-Man movie. Not anymore after No Way Home, but a great solo film. Octavius is great. Doc Ock is great as played by Alfred Molina. Toby is great in this film. The last 30 minutes of this film are so good. So good.
So good.
So
Amazing.
good. MJ's better in it.
Debatable.
Yeah. Spider-Man 3. We're going to disagree on this film a lot. I think this is good.
Yeah. Okay, we're not going to disagree on it a lot, okay?
I think it
Definitely
has
pretty
too
good.
many villains as well. I don't think Venom is good at all. I think
Ugh.
Eddie Brock is like, when you compare him to Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock, it's like, what the hell is happening? But Sandman's really good. I like Harry in this movie. I love the ending. Bully McGuire's great. Him with the symbiote is fantastic.
Not,
And
not, not enough of him.
it's a great ending to the trilogy. I understand the problems. It has one of my favorite comic book shots is when he gets the symbiote and he looks at it and he does this. Um,
Mm.
I love it. I really enjoy this movie more than most. I'm not even going to try to go in timeline order anymore.
Yeah.
Age of Ultron, mid.
Yeah.
This movie is okay. Like Cap and I, when we reviewed it, rewatched it, we said Cap and Iron Man are good. Hawkeye's good in this film. Like he's really good. Thor sucks.
Yeah.
They
Really
don't do
weird.
anything with him. Yeah, this is an okay movie. This is fine. It's just weird that Joss Whedon like created the Avengers and then created this afterwards. It's like
Yeah.
how did and then Justice League.
Yeah.
Is this
Cool.
this is the first Venom? Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. That should be at least.
I'll say
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah. It is because I can see the Let There Be Carnage poster.
bad, but not the worst. It's not good. Like it's too long, and I think that's what the second movie fixes. Riot's not good. Uh, the first 30 minutes are really bad. It's not great, but Hardy and the chemistry between Tom Hardy and Venom's not a real thing, but you know what I'm saying.
And
Uh,
Venom is voiced by Tom Hardy.
yeah. So that's good. Ant-Man, I love what you did here.
Yes, it's an amazing poster.
Good. Really solid. Like a solid film.
Oh yeah, much better than what I remembered it.
Uh, Yellow Jacket was way better than I thought. I thought he was just rich billionaire guy, but like he was actually good in this film, so it's gonna be
Yep.
in the good tier. Avengers, amazing. I can't put it. I know you love this film. It might be your favorite comic book movie. It's a really great introduction. It has my favorite character, Loki, as the main villain. He's fantastic. I don't really have many problems with it at all. Except Hawkeye and Black Widow, and I think they're still pretty good in the movie. Um, but yeah, I think this is an amazing film. What is this, Black Panther?
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah. Oh, well, I would have put it in iconic, but that's just me.
Um, it's high. It's high amazing. It's would almost be iconic. It's a actually. I'm trying to think if I should. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. It's iconic. It's great. It's the best, one of the better pace. It's fast paced. It's the Rise of Skywalker if the Rise of Skywalker was paced fast and good.
Yeah.
That's what Black Panther is. I love Killmonger. Great, played by Michael B. Jordan. Fantastic film. The hell is this? Is this the First Avenger?
No, that's Civil War.
Okay, I don't know. Yeah. Let's do the First Avenger because it's right here. Um, this movie is good. This
Yeah.
movie is better than the Ant-Man. It is really good.
Much better. Much better than I thought.
I love this film. It's a great character study of Steve Rogers. It's really an underrated MCU film in my opinion, so it's going to be in the good tier.
Okay.
This is Winter Soldier. This film is iconic.
Hard
I
disagree.
I know we disagree on it, but I love grounded superhero projects, and this is the most one of the more grounded things in the MCU. I love it. I love Bucky in this film, even though he's not in a lot of it. I just love the vibe and the aesthetic of this film. It's not too grandiose. It's very surface level, and I love it. Why?
No, just the ad on the right side.
Oh, oh yeah.
Oh my god! I'm sorry. I'm trying. I was trying so hard not to laugh.
Civil War,
Come on, man.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's really solid. I have some problems with it, like not all the team's members' motives are clearly explained, or some of them are like weird why they joined one side. It's just weird to like Civil War is a weird movie because it's hard to put up the heroes against each other. Um, I feel like it would have been more monumental if somebody like Rhodey died.
Mm.
Uh, Overall, a really solid film. Tony's great in it. Steve's great in it. Um, but yeah, I enjoy this film. It's amazing. It's really good.
Okay.
Trash. It's just
Yeah.
not good.
Captain, you didn't even get to say the name.
Captain Marvel. And I know people don't. This movie gets unfairly treated. I think Brie Larson is fine as Captain Marvel. I just don't vibe with the
Yeah.
movie.
When I talk about it with mine, I'll go into it more. But when I talked to my friends earlier about it, we all had the same consensus: is that Brie Larson wasn't the problem. It was the idea to give on her first outing of a movie was to give her amnesia, because like she already doesn't have a character, and then let's just have the character forget what her character is.
Right. Right. And it's at a weird time. It feels like a Phase 1 film. It doesn't feel like a Phase 3 film.
Yeah.
It comes off a momentous film like Infinity War supposed to lead into Endgame. And it's just weird. I think Nick Fury is great in it. He's the best character in the film. I think we agree on that.
Yeah.
Villain Jan Rug. Is that his name? Jan Rug? Whatever.
Irrelevant. How about that?
Yeah, not good. Doctor Strange. Mid?
Honestly, dude, after No Way Home, it kind of jumped up for me.
Okay. I like some of the stuff this movie does. But it's okay. It's solid. It doesn't do anything terribly wrong. I like Strange in it. I like the dark vibe it kind of has. The thing that always weirds me out is like when Mordo leaves. It's like
Yeah.
it's weird. The Dormammu thing I like. Ancient One is good. It's the most trippy MCU film still, I think.
Oh yeah.
I enjoy it. Endgame.
Ooh. I feel so weird about Endgame, you know?
Amazing.
Yeah.
I like. Okay, the first two acts aren't great, so like the first 2 hours, what the hell, man?
I disagree. I really like the time travel part.
I mean, they're fine, they're okay, but the final act is where this film excels. Um,
Yeah.
and it's Thanos isn't as good. So it's not Infinity War Thanos, so it's
Yeah.
not as good of a film. But overall, it's a great conclusion to a lot of these characters that we love, and a great segue into the future. Eternals,
Eternals.
good,
Yeah.
good film. I love Icarus. Crow is not a good villain. Why does it keep doing this? The Celestials are pretty interesting. I really like them. I can't wait to see where these characters go.
I agree.
Homecoming.
That's Far From Home.
Sorry.
You
Jesus Christ.
can literally see the Homecoming poster a few over.
I know.
Oh,
Oh, that atrocious thing! I didn't even see it again.
exactly. I look. I want to say this. I really tried with the posters of these. Like some of these, I tried really hard for good ones.
There's a better Homecoming poster than this. I know there is.
Oh yeah, the one where he's laying down. I couldn't get a good like quality of it. It always like blurred out.
This is like if I threw it together.
Okay.
Yeah, Far From Home is bad. It's a really average film. Um, I just don't like it. Mysterio has the potential to be a great villain, and there's some great. There's just moments in this film. Why do you keep doing this?
What is it
Um,
doing?
it just keeps scrolling down for no reason. It has moments, but it's bad. It's
Yeah.
not great. Guardians, this is a classic. This
Guardians.
will go above all of these. Actually, no.
Wow. I was gonna say above Spider-Man 2. Wow.
Actually, Black Panther will go above Guardians. Yeah, this is the best team up movie. The only negative is Ronan's not a great villain, but oh my god, the characters are great. It's funny. James Gunn kills it.
Soundtrack.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. The aesthetic, the vibe. Thanos is introduced fully. Um, great film. My first MCU film that I ever watched. I loved it ever since I first saw it. What the hell is this? Guardians 2?
Guardians. Dude, I gotta say, what a glow down.
Eh.
Yeah.
I like it. Ego's pretty good as a villain, I think. He's alright. But we focused a lot on Peter in the first film.
Yeah.
Focused a lot on him in this film as well. So I kind of want to give some other characters some love. Yondu's death is sad. Yondu is pretty good in this movie. I think he could have done some things better, but overall, I really enjoy this film.
Yeah. Hawkeye. Wow.
It has two really good episodes, episode 3 and 5. The finale is good. The Elena and Hawkeye stuff, I think, is pretty good. The pace of the show is off. It tries to do too much, and some storylines aren't great in certain points. If they just focus on Elena and Hawkeye, that would have been a really good show. Kate Bishop and Elena are great. Florence Pugh, star of the show. When Kingpin is introduced, if you didn't watch him in the Netflix verse or whatever you want to call it, he would be as menacing. I think they do the whole Echo not killing him too early or whatever. Echo's fine. I'm excited for her show to explore her more in depth. There's cool Ronin stuff, but overall, it's pretty mid.
Yeah. Okay. I disagree, but whatever.
Homecoming? Good.
Yeah.
The Vulture is a really good villain. It's the good Tom Holland, Peter Parker story. I love the scene in the car. One of the best scenes, I think, in any Spider-Man film. And I think, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I think I really enjoyed it. Bad. Just awful.
Yeah.
Just, that's all I'm going to say.
I'll say this, because like when I get to mine, I'll go a little bit more in depth. But Drew, what was one of the only things I said about this movie when we were doing the Google slides? About the
I don't
recap?
remember.
I said Bruce being recast didn't help this movie's case.
Right, and plus it's like a weird film because like you don't really have to watch it.
Yeah, it's like really unessential.
Like they could decanonize this, and I'd be like, okay.
Oh well.
Um,
Infinity War. War.
this is my
War.
favorite comic book movie of all time. This
Okay.
has the best villain of all time, Thanos, on a grandiose scale.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, this film's just fantastic. It like from start to finish, and our heroes lose, and we feel the pain, we feel the anguish, and it does it all in 2.5 hours. I think it's just all really good. The battle on Titan's really good. The battle in Wakanda, I think, is really good. The only character I don't think is great is Bruce, but that's a problem in the MCU in general. Uh,
Every movie he's in.
it's great. It's great that we finally get all these characters together. It's a great film. The OG Iron Man film. Um, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Great introduction to the MCU. Obadiah Stane is not a great villain, but Tony is great. Like Robert Downey Jr. steals the show. I like Pepper in this movie. I just like this movie, man. Jon Favreau, man, just saving cinematic universes, man. Kills it.
Creating too.
Yeah. This is the worst MCU film. Oh god, it moved away. It was so bad.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
this film is awful. I used to say that the final 30 minutes were the only watchable parts of this film, but after we rewatched no,
No, those are even. That's not even watchable.
no. The only thing that's good is the suit up.
Yeah.
Um, there's some interesting elements exploring Tony's alcoholism, but
Dude, that's his greatest villain is alcohol.
like they don't even do a good job with it. It's just weird. It's weird.
And the other thing is like they try to justify him being an alcoholic. We're like, oh, he's dying.
Yeah, right. Um,
Iron
I like
Man
this film.
3.
I like this. It does a good job exploring his PTSD.
If only it was
Killian's all
that.
right. We didn't need the whole fake Mandarin thing. Um, so yeah, I think this is a fair assignment.
Yeah.
Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
So good, it's so bad.
Uh, why do you keep doing that? Um, I feel like the movie is still too long.
Really?
It's an hour and a half, and because 15 minutes he's in a brothel.
Oh well.
Yeah. I like this film though. I love Eddie and Venom in it. I love those are probably like Tom Hardy and Florence Pugh. I feel the same way about like they steal they steal scenes when they're in comic book movies, um, especially with their characters Venom and Yelena respectively. So yeah, I like this movie a lot. I like Carnage. It's a goofy comic book movie, and that's what I appreciate about it. It doesn't try to be what it's not.
Yeah. Loki.
Top tier, amazing. I love Tom Hiddleston in this. His acting is fantastic. I love what it does for the MCU. You wouldn't think a Loki show after Loki's died a lot um, would do this. The only thing that is weird is the romance.
Yeah.
I know you don't like the last episode. I do a lot because he feels menacing. He who remains, and he's not doing anything. He's just monologuing. Um, but yeah, I really enjoy this show as a whole. No Way Home, iconic. Second best comic book movie of all time. William Defoe is even better in this film. Doc Ock's great. Electro's a big step up. Sandman and Lizard, we make memes about him now, but they were all right. It was great to see all three Peter Parkers on screen. One of my favorite moments in a cinema. So yeah.
Okay.
Shang-Chi is in the high good tier. Great solo film. Maybe one of my favorite introduction films. Besides like Spider-Man and Black Panther. It's just a really solid film. I love Wenwu. I just love that whole story, and I love that whole world.
Hold up,
Tasm one,
question. Is Mando season 3 slotted to come out next year?
yeah, probably, yeah. Well, it's
Okay.
not announced, but it will.
Okay. Make sure. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, that's fine. Tasm, bad but not. Oh, that's Tasm too. Sorry. Wow,
Is it? Oh,
awful, awful. Oh, it's not worse than Iron Man 2. It's better. Okay, never mind. It's better. Yeah, it's right there. Bad. Electro's bad. Harry Osborn's bad. I like Garfield in it. He likes to break backs in it, but
hold
sorry.
on. What if I had another question for you? Is
Fine.
Ahsoka also rumored to come out next year?
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's trash. Tasm 1, mid. I like it. It's a really good origin film. I just love the aesthetic of the web films, and I wish they were better written. Falcon the Winter Soldier, also mid. I like it. Um, John Walker's a great character introduction. I love his Wyatt Russell's acting in it. Weird stuff with the Power Broker. Zemo's good. Great to see Captain America being played by Sam Wilson. The first Thor movie, uh, it's bad but not the worst. It's not trash quite, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty boring. Loki's great in it. I'm gonna say that probably for all three of the Thor films, as we'll get to Ragnarok now. Ragnarok is high tier amazing. Uh,
Mm,
Great film, great film. Hela's good. I think Loki is really good. This movie is just fits the character of Thor, and I'm glad what Taika did with the world there and stuff.
it's what Thor should have always been.
Dark World, bad. Malekith, it got better when we rewatched it, but it's still pretty bad. Loki's good. Um,
Yep.
yeah. This WandaVision?
Yep.
Yes.
WandaVision.
Bad. I just didn't like it. It didn't vibe with me.
Okay.
Um, I didn't think Agatha was a great villain. It was cool to get Wanda as the Scarlet Witch, but besides that, not great in my opinion. Ant-Man and the Wasp, second worst Marvel film. It doesn't have a villain. It's
Doesn't
pretty
have,
boring.
doesn't have a plot.
Yes. It's weird. It's not great. Mid.
What if?
What has some good moments, and one of my favorite moments from this year, Strange Supreme. The finale's weird because we get a weird Gamora. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Some weird choices, but overall it's fine. And finally, Black Widow. We'll put it in mid as well. Um, yeah, because Yelena.
Okay.
There's my list.
Yeah. Go and recap for us, sir.
Infinity War, No Way Home, Spider-Man 2, Black Panther, Guardians, and Winter Soldier are iconic MCU or Marvel films. Amazing will be Thor, Ragnarok, Loki, the First Avengers, Spider-Man 1, Endgame, and Civil War. In the good tier, I think Shang-Chi, First Avenger, Iron Man, Ant-Man, Homecoming, Spider-Man 3, and Eternals. In the mid, Age of Ultron, Iron Man 3, Guardians 2, Venom Let There Be Carnage, Doctor Strange, Black Widow, Falcon Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, What If, and Tasm. In the bad but not the worst, WandaVision, Far From Home, Venom, Thor, and then in the trash category we have Captain Marvel, Tasm 2, Thor, Hulk, Ant-Man and Thor the Dark World, excuse me, Hulk, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Iron Man 2 as the worst Marvel film.
All
Alex,
right.
your turn.
My turn indeed. I'm going to share my screen. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm going to try to go with the way I'm going to try to do this is I'm going to try to get all the single or solo movies, duologies, and then trilogies out in that way. So the first movie I'm going to do is Black Widow. I'm going to put her in mid. Drew, where'd you go? Why are you not? Why am I the only one here now? I'm lonely.
I'm still here.
I'm so lonely, but I can't see you. I'm so lonely. Um, uh, it's okay. Yelena's great. Natasha's great. Almost everybody else is either okay to bad. Dreykov and Taskmaster are not good villains. 2021 had a pretty big villain problem. Only like 3 good villains. So yeah, Captain Marvel. I'm gonna put it in bad, but not the worst. Um, it had some problems. Nick Fury was great. I just don't agree with using amnesia when it's literally the first movie in her, hopefully either like trilogy or however movie she's getting. So hopefully this get fixed with the Marvels. Um, so also, Drew, by the way, on that Google Doc that I have of the end of year plan, can you verify and make sure that's everything rumored and whatnot to come out in
I
2022
I
for
will. I
after?
will.
Okay. Um, After that, I'm gonna do
You're
Loki.
good. You good. You got
Okay,
it all.
good. For Loki, I have to put it in amazing. It was amazing. All 6 episodes are great. The only thing I wasn't really a big fan of was the self-obsessed with Loki and another Loki, or Loki and Sylvie. But yeah, other than that, it was amazing. The score was great. He Who Remains was a good villain. I wasn't a huge fan of the final episode. I really would have preferred not talking for 40 minutes, but whatever. So Hawkeye, I'm gonna put in amazing. No, I'll put it in good. I'll be generous. Yeah, kind of a lot of weird storylines were started and then weren't finished. And if they were kind of like, okay, well, I don't think we needed a whole storyline for that, aka the Jack Duquesne storyline and whatnot. Like, he was just a guy who liked swords. So yeah, I love Hawkeye. I love Kate. I love Clint. I love Yelena. I love Maya. I love Kingpin. All of it works so well for me. I don't know about Drew, all that stuff, but yeah. Um, Next up, I'll do Black Panther. I have to put in iconic. It is amazing, amazing score. You can even ask Drew. I didn't like this movie a lot before we rewatched it and
Not at
I've
all.
turned around. It's amazing. I love T'Challa. I love Killmonger. He's not my favorite villain, but I still like him. I love every character in this movie. They get them all right. So yeah, Doctor
Totally.
Doctor Strange. I'll put it in good, probably above Hawkeye. Um, I love Stephen Strange. I love the Ancient One. I love Wong. Dormammu was a fun little boss fight at the end for Strange. Mordo's kind of the only bad character in this movie. I kind of don't like the fact that he's like, oh, too many sorcerers. When he's kind of like, that's kind of like the purpose of the sorcerers to bring more up. But whatever. So yeah, I love Doctor Strange. I'm real excited for Multiverse of Madness, especially with that trailer that was released. So yeah. Next up, I have Eternals. I'm gonna put that in good above Hawkeye, but not better than Doctor Strange. Um, I just think that Sprite and Gilgamesh, or no, is it Gilgamesh I'm thinking of? Sprite for sure was just a bad character. They had no time for that poor girl. Uh, I don't understand why when Icarus turned, she was so quick to turn. Um,
Yeah, I get it.
Whatever. Um, Kingo was great. Makari was great. Cersei was great. Thena was okay. Fastos was great. Icarus was amazing. Yeah, just loved everyone. Crow was a letdown of a villain. Go surprise or no surprise there. Even though I really think Icarus was the villain of the movie. So uh,
Fair.
yeah, the Celestials were cool. So yeah, really liked this movie in the direction it went. Uh, yeah. Next, I'm just gonna get these two out of the way. TASM one. Where's TASM two at?
It's next to it. There.
That's
Yeah, you
okay.
go.
Haven't watched them. Have no ambition to watch them. Uh,
Really? Even after
so
No Way Home, you said you
you,
might have.
I might have wanted to, but now I don't. Um,
Why?
so
Because after my reviews of them, don't let my.
no. Just because I just don't want to watch them.
I suggest you watch them, especially since I think we will get a TASM 3.
I do too. When that gets rumored or confirmed, then I'll do it.
Okay.
What If I'm gonna put at mid, above Black Widow, but for sure.
Yeah.
Strange Supreme was cool. What If Ultron 1 was cool. The Guardians of the Multiverse final episode was cool. Uh, Party Thor was funny. It's just kind of like I didn't like the first episode. I didn't like the second episode. I didn't like the third episode. But after that, all of them were either good to great. I just kind of wish we got that Gamora episode. Kind of weird that we're gonna get it in season 2,
Right.
but whatever. Next, I have Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm gonna put that at mid, below Black Widow. Just didn't like Carly as a villain. Love Sam, love Bucky, love John Walker, and that's kind of where the list of good characters ends.
Yeah, he loves
Um,
his motives, guys. Yeah, totally.
I agree with John. Sorry. Val was interesting. The problem that this show had, along with WandaVision, which I'll get into after, man, just they should not have started talking about things that were going to happen in future episodes, like, oh, this character who I would want to see Thor team up with. Like, come on now.
Right.
That I would think literally anyone else but Val.
Right.
Isaiah Bradley was interesting. I know I don't like him as much as others do. I just like when they were talking about how emotional that scene was. I was like, I didn't care. Well, I not that I didn't care. I was just like, whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah. I hope we get to season 2 as the rebranded Captain America and the Winter Soldier, but
Maybe.
Next up, WandaVision. I'm gonna put that in mid. Really like the show. Just there was a lot of parts of it that weren't really good. Agatha wasn't the greatest villain, and I also don't think it warranted a TV show. The soundtrack was great. I just love it all. I love Scarlet Witch's new costume. I love Vision in the show. I love the twins. And then I'm sorry, I'll never forgive them for the Ralph Boner joke.
No.
And I think this show had a lot of problems that Hawkeye had, where it opened up way too many plot lines and didn't fulfill them with the aerospace engineer,
Right.
who were Jimmy Woo's friends in Quantico, all that other stuff. So yeah, I think bottom of mid fits it well.
For sure.
Next, I will do Incredible Hulk, trash. Don't even need to talk about why. Basically, everything Drew said was it. I don't think Edward Norton being recasted for Mark Ruffalo was really helpful for this movie's case.
By the way, I don't think Edward Norton is bad as the Hulk.
No,
I don't think that.
I don't either. I just don't know. I don't think him not working out helps this movie. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Next, I'm going to move into the duologies. I'm going to start with the Ant-Man. That's going to go in amazing for me. That movie is so good. I think it's one of my most rewatchable movies of all time. I love it.
Wow.
I love the Ant-Man theme. I love Ant-Man. I love Hank. I love Hope. I love everyone in this movie. Darren was an amazing villain. The only really thing
we're gonna see him again, probably as MODOK. Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing that I wish that the only thing that would have made it iconic for me was this movie doesn't feel like an MCU movie. It feels very disconnected for some reason, and I don't know.
For sure.
I don't know why it feels that way. We go to Avengers Compound. We go to we get Tony Stark reference, but it doesn't feel connected.
We see Howard. We see Peggy at the beginning of the film.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel MCU bound for some
I know what you're saying. I get that.
Oh, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Oh gosh, what a downgrade, bro.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem is that the characters were great in this movie. There was no villain. There was no plot. There was really nothing to this movie.
There was nothing.
The only remarkable thing is that Hope, Hank, and Janet got snapped. That's it. So next for duologies, I know there's another one. Yeah, Venom. Where's Venom 1 at? Venom 1 I'm going to put at mid, below WandaVision. I think it was a great starter film for Venom. I think it is long, though. I love Venom and Eddie in this. I love Anne in this. I love Anne's boyfriend or fiance, whatever they are in this movie at this point.
Yes.
Riot was okay. Not the worst villain, not the best. I like the
That's fair.
soundtrack of this movie. It was okay. Yeah, just love Venom in this movie. He's amazing. I love the "We Are Venom" scenes. So,
We are Venom.
and then I'm gonna put above it. I'm gonna put its sister, Venom: Let There Be Carnage.
Yeah.
It's honestly not that big of an upgrade. I like the time of the movie. I like Carnage. I like Eddie and Cletus in this movie. Anne kind of just feels there now. So does her boyfriend Dan or whatever. I like the movie. I really, really like it. I think the best way to describe it is it's such a bad movie. It's actually pretty good.
I have.
So yeah. Next up, I have Guardians. Guardians 1 is amazing. I think I agree with you. Best team up movie.
Iconic. Yeah.
It has to be. The soundtrack is amazing. I don't mind Ronan as a villain. He kind of just screams a lot in the movie. Thanos was cool to see. Yeah, really, really, really love this movie. So, Guardians 2. Mid.
Fair.
Just, it's a big downgrade. Great soundtrack still. Ego kind of felt like I feel like we should have got him teased in the first movie for it to be a full payoff than him just suddenly showing up at the first act. The Sovereign was okay. Cool that we're gonna see Adam Warlock here soon.
Right.
So I really like that little tie-in. I think it is gonna be weird considering Adam Warlock is very connected to Thanos. Thanos is dead now, so and the Infinity Gauntlet and the Infinity Stones, but like whatever. So yeah, just again, Yondu's death was great. I mean, sad. Can I call someone dying good? Because that sounds really morbid. So yeah, it's just it kind of I don't know. It feels weird because it's also weird to think that in the timeline, this only takes place a few months after the first movie, and it feels like this should have taken place years after the first movie. But that is just my opinion. Oh, I forgot Shang-Chi had a solo movie. I'm gonna put it in amazing.
Wow.
Love the soundtrack. Love Shang-Chi. Love Wenwu. Love everything about this movie. I'd say probably the one thing I don't like is kind of the length of it. It feels a little long and drawn out at parts.
Mm-hmm.
But
Second act is not great, but yeah, I agree.
But other than that, it's amazing. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I could watch it 1,000 times. So yeah, I think that's it for duologies and singles or solos. Now I'm gonna go into Spider-Man. I'm just gonna get both of these out of the way. Spider-Man 1 and 2 both go in iconic. I love them both. Ooh, let me do a little bit of fixing here. I love Spider-Man 2 so much. Spider-Man 1 was a great introduction, and Spider-Man 2 was a great follow-up about the hardship of being a hero. Spider-Man 1 was a great introduction to what it means to be a hero. As the iconic "with great power comes great responsibility" line, which gets echoed in a deleted scene for Amazing Spider-Man 2 and No Way Home. So really great movie. I love Tobey as Spider-Man and as Peter Parker, although he is, in my opinion, the worst Peter Parker of the three. Amazing Spider-Man. Love him seeing him web sling. So yeah, I love these movies so much. I'm happy that I finally got them on Blu-ray, so I can watch them whenever I want. So, and then then there was Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man. Bad.
It's worse
convoluted.
than Captain Marvel?
Oh shit! I didn't mean that. Um, it's a convoluted movie. You know what? No, let's be funny. Let's put all three Venom related movies right next to each other. Um,
Give me Rent.
give me Red. I wanted more Bully McGuire. I'm sorry.
Here, I'll give it to you right now. I'll give it to you right now. Here we go.
No. We don't need to see that. We don't need to see this. Okay. No, stop. Stop. Listen down. I did not need to see that. I think can I sue you for having my can I get my eyes bleached for that? That thrusting did not need to happen on screen.
You want forgiveness?
Get
Get religion.
Yeah. Bully McGuire was really the only highlight of this movie. I gotta be real with you. Venom sucked. Eddie sucked. Mary Jane sucked.
It's just a weird Venom. It's just
It
like
is.
weird looking.
You know how I think you could pay? Humiliation. Seriously? Like, ugh.
When he talks to Sandman, you want to kill the spider. I want to kill the spider.
I
And
know.
then,
Love Sandman in the movie. Harry Osborn is Harry Osborn. I like how I kind of said this when I put it on our Google slide before I abandoned us doing that. Is Harry's butler could have literally told him that Spider-Man didn't kill his dad, and all of this could have been prevented.
yeah.
But whatever. So yeah, that's just where I'm at. Probably would get better per every rewatch. But yeah, ultimately not a fan. Thor. We're gonna go to the Thor. Bad, trash. Thor 1 was great. Or not great. But I'm sorry. I want to think positively, but it was not great. I should say. Thor wasn't really even that appealing in this movie. Loki was the best, and everything on Earth sucked. Everything on Asgard was great, though.
Yeah.
Pretty poor soundtrack, in my opinion.
Aesthetically, this movie sucks.
The problem is I like when I think of like, oh, I like dark looking movies. This movie doesn't look dark as in like, oh, the it feels like a dirty grime. It literally looks like there was like a gray, like a black and white color color filter on Snapchat laid on this movie, and then someone in post tried to undo it. Like, not a fan of that. Not a fan. Thor: The Dark World and trash. Kind of speaks for itself. Even on the rewatch, I didn't like it. The ethers, I still to this day don't understand it.
Yeah, it's not explained well at all.
So Thor still sucks. Jane Foster still sucks. Malekith, don't even get me started on him. I just like, I don't understand how a movie could get worse. And then I also don't understand how we could then have Thor Ragnarok come right after.
Right.
It's iconic. Don't even get me started. Comedy's peak. Every character is great in this movie. Maybe with the exception of Heimdall, but even then, he's still really amazing in this movie. Love it all. I love the Hulk in this movie, and I love Bruce in this movie. I love the Grand Master. I love everything on Sakaar, everything on Asgard, everything on Earth. I love Doctor Strange's cameo in here. I love the soundtrack of this movie. It's such an amazing soundtrack. Taika Waititi nailed it times 1,000 in this movie. Korg was amazing. So yeah, love it. Next, I'll do Captain America. First Avenger, I'm going to put at good. Much better. Like when we rewatched it, I was really nervous I was going to fall asleep. I know my attention was hooked for this movie. Really liked it. Really good segue into the Avengers. Peggy was great in this movie. Bucky was great in this movie. Steve was great in this movie. Red Skull was a little lackluster, but apart from that, he was still really, really good. Zola was cool in this movie. The Tesseract was a cool little thing to see for the first time. So yeah, really good. Really, really, really like this movie. It is a war movie at the end of the day, but I think that
Right.
honestly isn't something that hurts it. I thought it would for me. I don't know about you, but yeah. Next up, Winter Soldier. Man, everyone says it's a top 10 MCU movie, or not top 10. It's a top one MCU movie. It's the best. 10 super. No, it's not. It is a good movie. Oh, hold on. Let me do some rearranging. Let me get.
Ooh, that's a little low, Alex, but okay. Go
Ugh.
off.
Winter Soldier. Look, okay.
It's a movie we'd have to watch together, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like it'd be a movie that if we ever watched together, we would have to be unmuted for, and we'd have to like talk during the movie because this movie for me is so grade A boring at parts. I'm thrown out of the experience, but when it's good, it's amazing good. It is iconic good. The bridge fight with Bucky, Bucky in this movie was just a great villain. Um, all of it was just really worked most of the time. There is a lot of this movie that just does not work for me, and I cannot call it a 10 out of 10 movie. I can at best call it a 7 out of 10 movie. So I know that's gonna get. I know I'm waiting for more lasers to come down after I said something bad about Revenge of the Sith, but yeah. And then Civil War, I have to put it in amazing. Every time I watch this movie, it gets better and better for me. I love the soundtrack. I love the characters. I kind of agree with you that a lot of the characters' motives are very questionable for why they're on the side that they're on. Uh,
Right.
like, why would Spider-Man be on the side that you have to reveal your secret identity? But
Right.
whatever. Um, so yeah, I really love this movie. I love Tony and Steve in this movie. I love every character in this movie, and I think that's where it excels the most. I think probably the only character I don't like is Sharon Carter, and the little weird relationship she and Steve have where they kiss at the end or
Nah.
kiss
That's
in the
just
middle.
nah. That's just
Weird.
Ron, man. It's Ron,
And
fam.
and Zemo is amazing. Like Zemo's Zemo. Like he's a great
Yep.
villain. Easily top 5 villains because of how effective he was.
Right. He's basically the catalyst for why the Avengers lose. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is. Not basically. He is. Yeah.
And next up, I'm gonna do Iron Man. Good movie, great solo movie, or first introduction movie. Great movie to start off the MCU. It is a dated movie though. Um, every time I watch it, it gets slower and slower and slower, and I feel like I'm gonna just daze off every time I watch it. I just Obadiah is Obadiah. Iron Man really struggles with solo villains. I feel like every villain that he has is better in the Avengers.
Right.
So
Ultron. Yeah.
Loki, Ultron, Thanos. Um, so yeah, really think he was a great start to the MCU, great start to the Iron Man trilogy. It's just a very bad shame that Iron Man 2 could not be a better follow up. Jeez, this movie sucked. Um,
There was
I
something he wrote in your Google Doc. You don't like a certain line of dialogue. What does he say again to
No,
Pepper?
it's a deleted scene. If it would have been kept in, it would have been a great opening to the movie where it's like, I'm not on my cycle, Pepper. I love it.
Oh, it's where he throws up before he goes on the
Yeah.
plane. Yeah.
I love it. I love Tony in this movie, and that's where the love ends. That's it. Villain, plot, time, pacing, or soundtrack, side characters, love interest, all of it sucks. All of it. So, like sucks. If there was I literally was saying to Drew, if I wanted to put Iron Man 2 in its own category under trash. So yeah, and then Iron Man 3, mid.
It's good. It's a good mid.
It's a Christmas story. um, uh, that's it, really. I mean, Harley was cool. Tony was amazing in this movie. Pepper was great. Um, Rhodey was great. Killian was okay. Um, the fake out Mandarin, yuck. So yeah, that's just where I'm at. I wish there was more to this movie than what we got. 30 minutes more. 30 minutes would have done this movie justice, more justice. But whatever. Iron Man 3 is Iron Man 3 at the end of the day. And then the one I've been so excited to talk about, Spider-Man. Homecoming, I'm going to put in good. Great solo film for Peter Parker. Great villain with the Vulture. Easily top 10 villain. Soundtrack is amazing. I have to say it. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for it. Tom Holland's Spider-Man theme is my favorite Spider-Man theme. See, I know. I see more lasers going onto my chest right now. So I love his theme. I loved it all. I love Ned. I love MJ. I really just love this movie. I think it's another great rewatchable movie. And I love his call to action. And I also love that they didn't redo the trope of Uncle Ben dying again. To me, that is the MCU's counterpart to Batman's parents dying. So I didn't need to see it again to understand the point of why he becomes a hero. I really do just like that Tony Stark is his Uncle Ben. And I like that they didn't redo the with great power comes great responsibility trope again. I really like that it was, if you're nothing without the suit, then you shouldn't have it. So yeah, really, really like it. Go Spider-Man Homecoming. Next up, Far From Home, I'm going to put it at bottom of mid. Man, Spider-Man is just not getting a break for me, I guess, in the mid category. So Mysterio's a good villain, not a top 10. Peter is great in the movie. I love him as Spider-Man in this movie. I love the suits in this movie. I love the soundtrack of this movie. But other than that, it's kind of just like when he's not in Paris or he's not fighting Mysterio or fighting with Mysterio, it's kind of boring. And it takes a real big drop off for that. And I would even I'm going to put it under Let There Be Carnage. Yeah. And then the big guy, the dad of this trilogy, Spider-Man No Way Home, has to go at the second most iconic. Or no, gotta put it at number one. This just brought everything together. Without even seeing the Amazing Spider-Man movies, love Andrew Garfield.
Peter 3.
Peter 3. Love it all. Love it all. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I literally couldn't tell you a single minute of this movie I did not like. There was not a single bad character in my opinion. And then come on, bro, we got the Sinister Six. We got Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Lizard, Electro. Who am I missing?
Tree.
No, someone else.
There's the Sinister Five.
No.
Sandman.
Sandman, and then the tree. Love this movie again. Not a single minute of it I did not like.
Plus, it ends on a devastating note. It doesn't end.
I argue a more devastating note than Infinity War.
Yeah, it's lost everything.
He literally has, and you have to think he's not even 18 yet. He's just about to turn 18, and he's lost friends, family, the Avengers, everything.
He's known by no one.
Yeah. Nobody knows who Peter Parker is. So, next up, it's the meat and potatoes of the MCU, the Avengers. I have to put it right here at 3, all the way up at iconic.
It got worse for you?
There you go.
One spot.
Love this movie. I don't think there's a single minute of this movie I don't love and don't enjoy. There might be 30 seconds of the movie total I don't like, but yeah. I should also say go back to No Way Home real fast. The humor didn't fully hit with me, so
okay, that's fair.
But with Avengers, the humor hit where it always landed. The only problem that I wish I would have liked is that I wish Thor was a little bit more interesting in the movie, but even then he was still very interesting for me. Love Avengers. It's the meat and potatoes of the MCU. And then Age of Ultron, I'm going to put it at high mid. Not a big step up or actually not a step up at all. Um, really like this movie. I like it more than most. Um, just Thor is bland. Natasha sucks. Bruce sucks. Um, Clint, Tony, and Steve are the best. Sorry, I'm like dying right now. So yeah, just Thor is bland. Vision is bland. Wanda is bland. Pietro died for no reason. Um, so yeah, Age of Ultron is Age of Ultron. Ultron was amazing.
Right.
That's it. Uh, Infinity War. Underneath. Okay, that's not where I put it. That's not where I put it either. There we go. I love this movie. There's only about 20 minutes of downtime of this movie. I'm not a huge fan of. Um, but other than that,
When
soundtrack
is
is
it?
great. Some of the stuff with Thor is a little
Okay.
boring. Some of the flashbacks with Gamora and Thanos were good for the story, but a little slow paced. Um, so, amazing opening to the movie. Like, we see
Oh
Thor
yeah.
as this high and like he's a god, and he's literally at Thanos' feet. So
Yeah.
that just it goes to show how crazy overpowered Thanos is. Love this movie. I love the devastating ending to it.
Mm.
So yeah, really, really like it. And then Avengers End Game, I'm putting it at good.
Wow.
Um, Too much convolution with the story. It is way too long of a movie. The first act is very, very boring. Um, Hawkeye's good in it. I'll say this: all of the Avengers are amazing in this movie. Thanos is not interesting in the slightest bit in this movie, which is a real shame coming off of Infinity War.
Right.
Um, don't like the Guardians usage in this movie. Kind of just feels like they're back, but then they're not really back. The only Guardian I really, or two Guardians I like, is Nebula and Rocket. Go figure, the two that survived. Um, so that was for me my thing. I love Tony in this movie. I love his sacrifice. I love Natasha's sacrifice. Steve Rogers. Not, I'm indifferent about his ending. So yeah, this is my complete 2021 list.
All right.
Um,
Give it just a quick summary.
I'll go quickly going from the blue to the red. Haven't seen or the TASM movies. No ambition. Um, in trash, I have the Incredible Hulk, Thor: The Dark World, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Iron Man 2. In bad but not the worst, I have Thor and Captain Marvel. In mid, I have What If. I have Black Widow, Age of Ultron, Iron Man 3, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Guardians Volume 2, WandaVision, Venom, Venom Let There Be Carnage, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Spider-Man Far From 3. Or Spider-Man 3. I'm far from 3. Far from 3. In good, I have Homecoming, Iron Man 1, Hawkeye, or The Winter Soldier, Eternals, First Avenger, Doctor Strange, and Avengers Endgame. And then in amazing, I have Civil War, Ant-Man, Shang-Chi, and Loki. And then iconic, I have Thor Ragnarok, Spider-Man 1, Black Panther, Spider-Man 2, Guardians of the Galaxy, Infinity War, Avengers 1, and then No Way Home. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Awesome list, man.
that's it. For this, we now have our last.
By the
Uh,
way, I added a show because you missed
oh,
one.
oh gosh, I forgot about She-Hulk. Okay,
It's okay.
you got me. You caught me. Now we have our final award of the year. And this isn't even 2021. This is for 2022 for the most anticipated project of 2022. For these, I have Moon Knight, The Marvels, Miss Marvel, Andor, Kenobi, Secret Invasion, Bad Batch Season 2, Mando Season 3, What If Season 2, and She-Hulk. Um, I think we're gonna have a big discrepancy here. We're gonna give let's give our top three. We don't have to bring any pictures up. So Drew, would you like to go first for your
At
top
number
three?
3, I have Moon Knight.
Okay.
I'm really excited to see Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight. I love the footage they showed. I love his costume already. I can't wait for the story. It's gonna be darker. It's gonna be grittier. I can't wait to see how they deal with like how Mark has like an alter ego, right? He's got like a personality disorder, obviously, right? I can't wait to see how they play with that. I can't wait to see the characters that they introduce. It looks like a really fun, dark, gritty show. The MCU's Batman, I know it's really not, but I'm really excited to see it, and I'm really excited to see like what they do with the Egyptian god side of it. Right? I'm really excited for the lore it's gonna add. What about you? What do you have at number three?
At number three, I have. I have surprisingly Andor at number three.
Oh,
I'm excited.
oh!
I'm excited. I hope Andor increases my love of Cassian and therefore would increase my love of Rogue One. Um, so yeah,
At number two, I'm gonna say Mando season three. I'm really excited. I think this season's gonna be the reclamation of Mandalore. I'm really excited to explore that conflict between Mando and Bo-Katan. I just rewatched Mando season two. I definitely think they were setting some stuff up that I kind of missed last year while watching it. I love Din. Din's one of my favorite Star Wars characters. And I'm really excited to see what Book of Boba sets up for us. So I think Mando 3 is definitely up there on anticipation for me. In fact, as I was saying, it's number two. What about you, Alex?
at my number two, I have Kenobi.
Oh,
I'll say
low
this:
love.
I love my top three because I won't say why. I'll say why I love it after I do my number one. But yeah, Kenobi. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ewan McGregor is coming back. Hayden Christensen is coming back. Overall, really excited to see Kenobi back on the big screen. Or not on the big screen, but
The
live
little
action.
screenplay. Yeah.
Live
Um,
action.
My number one, Obi-Wan Kenobi, man. Hayden Christensen is back as Anakin and Vader. I can't wait for the flashbacks. I can't wait for the story. I am so excited for this. We've been waiting for a long time for this as Star Wars fans. I'm not a big fan of Vader fighting Kenobi again, but I'll go nuts when I see it happen. I can't wait for the story. I can't wait for the lore. I'm super excited to see Obi-Wan back. It's gonna be the final time. It's the closing of the prequels. I feel like this is the closing of that chapter in the Star Wars saga, which I'm excited about. But yeah, I think this show is gonna be fantastic, and I just can't wait to finally get our first look at it. We'll get a trailer here. If the show comes out in May, I mean, 5 months away. It's crazy to think.
My number one is The Mandalorian season three. I love that my top three are all Star Wars.
No Marvel,
Um,
bro.
yeah, 2021 was not Star Wars' year, and I'm hoping 2022 is. Um, yeah, Mando season two was amazing, and I cannot wait to see what they do with Mando season three. So yeah, just overall love, 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 and cannot wait for the Mandalorian to come back. So yeah, real
I
excited.
agree. And that's gonna do it for the show, guys. Alex, just want to say, man, I've had a fantastic year. We've been doing this show for now 8 months. We've been doing it since late April. I've had a really great time doing it. We need to get some guests on. We'll work on that. But I've had a really great time, man. We've become good friends over the past year. We talk a lot, and it's been really fun. And I hope we keep doing it for as long as we can. And I just want to say I
Sure.
appreciate you, and I appreciate it. Just doing this, man.
Same goes to you, my friend. Same goes to you. Sometimes my was I can't even remember what it is, what the quote is. God damn it. Yeah.
I was gonna say something so nice, and he can't even say
No,
it.
no. It was not something real nice. If you understand the quote, you'd understand it's not a nice quote. But yeah, loving the show. I just cannot wait for 2022. See what it has for us to come. So yeah, real excited. Cannot wait to keep going.
Maybe we actually post on our TikTok, but who knows?
Don't hold me to that. Don't hold me to that.
No. But yeah, guys, it's gonna do it. Thank you for watching this year in review. Alex and I, well, you can check Alex and I tomorrow on a New Year's Eve stream. Alex, I don't know if you're coming on or not. You're welcome to come on, but
I'll try.
that was the intention. But anyways, yeah, if you're not dying, yeah, we'll be back next Wednesday for sure, though, for Book of Boba Fett episode 2 review. So that will do it for the show, and peace. Or may the force be with you, and may you stay burdened with glorious purpose. Peace.